Hi, I'm Matt from HockeyReviews.ca, and this is a review of the CCM Orthomove Custom Arch Supports insoles system. Now you can buy these separately. I don't know how much, I didn't buy them myself. They came with my CCM AS1 Super Tacks AS1 skates. So a bit about them. So CCM in the past put these Curex hockey specific arch support insoles in with their normal skates. So they had basically a footbed like this, an insole like this, and then it also came with one of these so you could swap them out based on which one you liked. I was a fan of these. I use these in my FT1s. I use them in my AS1s for a bit, but then I just switched to other things to try. But this was a kind of a nice option. They don't offer these anymore. They've moved to these Orthomove insoles with custom support. So I believe the idea of these is to compete with Superfeet. And I say that because if you look at the two products and then you flip them over, it looks very similar, and it looks kind of like that's kind of what they're going for. Now I don't think they totally work the same way. With the CCMs, I would like to say straight up that it's a nice option that CCM puts in there with their skates, instead of just a crappy foam footbed like this, which is the one that comes with the AS1s. This is obviously much nicer. Now the nice thing about this is because it has the custom arch support, you take the arch support out and it just becomes a normal footbed, and it doesn't really have any of that arch support, but it is a bit harder back here compared to like previous ones. Like these ones were kind of softer because it had this kind of cushioning back here. So it is a bit harder in that sense because of the composite, the plastic down here. So it's not quite as comfortable, but it's a nice footbed and a nice option compared to the standard kind of garbage, which this foam one is. Now, the other nice thing is CCM gives you 3 options with each of these, right? So they give you the low arch support, then they give you this little Velcro piece that has a mid arch support. So you just Velcro it on, and then you have a mid, and then you have your large as well. These are just like rubbery kind of thing. So the idea is that they're thicker. The large one is thicker than the medium one, and then the none is obviously there's none there. The thing is, when you put these on, you can still kind of flex it down, and it doesn't really, I find it really doesn't do all that much. For comparison, here's the Superfeet, where you flex it down, it stays pretty, like it doesn't move a whole ton, and if I flex this down, it does bend down a little bit more. I don't have arch issues. I never had to wear Superfeet before because I just never had that issue in my skates. Some people do, so I'm not necessarily the best person to talk to in regards to how these work as a Superfeet replacement. I'm wearing these to try to pull my toes back a little bit. The idea of these is it supports behind your arch to keep your arch from collapsing. You can pull your toes down a little bit like that. I'm not a huge, I don't really think these are the end all for insoles like some people do. I think I'm generally pretty happy with standard ones as well. Like I don't put these in my Trues, and the Trues just have the standard ones. But with that said, you can definitely see like the difference between Superfeet and the Orthomoves. The Orthos are definitely not as sturdy as the Superfeet are, and that arch isn't nearly as big, or doesn't feel as big, and not in the exact same position. This is a nice free solution to a better insole. It gives you some options, so I have to give CCM credit there. It's definitely not as good as Superfeet, at least in terms of arch support itself. Now maybe the custom part of it is because you can just again take it off, and then you have a flat one, which is a nicer insole. I wouldn't necessarily, the hard part about these is you can't really tell unless you skate on them. Now I'm not sure if these have a guarantee on them. Superfeet does. Superfeet lets you try the insole, I think, for 60 days. Use, and if you don't like it, you just bring it back to the store and you get your refund. That's huge because you can't really test these things out without skating on it. Walking around will feel different than actually skating. I don't know if, like, I'm not sure I'd actually recommend these to people in terms of, like, if they need it. If it's a replacement and you need something just to replace one, then maybe. Superfeet also has a comfort one, which is much softer and more comfortable. than the Pro Series, and it has a less of an arch, so you can really push down on it, kind of more similar to this. And it's cheaper. I think these are $60 Canadian. The comfort ones are like 34. So with that said, so I don't really know if I can recommend these. I'm not the perfect person for these because they don't really benefit me, I find, in any way. I do find my toes come back a little bit on the Superfeet. I can't feel the ends of the skates as much when I'm just kind of standing up. They don't on the CCMs. So the whole point of supporting this part so your foot doesn't collapse. I did not have that experience with the CCMs, but at the same time, they're not an awful insole, and they're decent for a free insole that you throw in. I just don't know if I'd ever recommend someone actually buying them as an accessory. I think there's other options out there. I think that these ones were definitely more comfortable, and I think they're kind of a better option because they're not trying to be something else. Or if they are, they just did everything in a slightly more comfortable way, and one that I liked better. So that about sums it up. It's kind of a weird review because I'm not the perfect use case for these. But like I said, it's a decent option, free option. It's definitely better than the crappy foam inserts. But I still think Superfeet are better than they are in terms of actually arch support and changing your foot, kind of pulling your toes back. But at least it gives you options, and it comes in a nice little bag with a nice few options on there, and the removable, like the nice little Velcro piece right there. So hopefully this video was kind of helpful, and the information on the CCM Orthomove custom arch support insoles was useful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And I hate saying this. Remember to subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Links are in the description. Just helps me get more gear so I can do reviews on and talk about it. As well, if you ever make a purchase decision or not because of one of my videos, please, if you don't mind, reaching out to a company via social media and just mentioning it. Just gets me on their radar so I can get some gear so I can do some reviews on and talk about equipment. Thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.